So 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Welcome, everyone. I'm really happy to see you again. Good morning to you, or good evening, good afternoon. It's good afternoon for Sue, but it is good morning for me. As you see, it's actually the sun is just rising. It's 7:30 a.m. in the morning. It's wonderful to see you again. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm joined today with Sue. She's the regional manager at RMIT for Southeast Asia. And Sue, how are you doing?
Thank you, Adam. How are you? Hi, everyone.
So, everyone, this is another episode for you for the Coffee Chat with Adam series. And today we're doing RMIT University. So you will have a lot of valuable information about RMIT today. You're going to be learning so much about the business programs and other things as well about the university, and also how can you apply to RMIT through the NCUK IFI program that we're launching in Ho Chi Minh. So stay tuned for a lot of information today, but it's going to be super exciting for you. So I'm going to go to Sue now and ask Sue the first question. And it's a very, very difficult question. No, I promise it's super simple. Okay. So, Sue, could you please introduce yourself to us? Tell us more about your duties, your position at the university, and just let us know who you are.
Sure. Thanks, Adam. So, as Adam has said, my name is Sue. I'm the regional manager for Southeast Asia at RMIT University in Melbourne, Australia. So part of my duty is to promote the university to students who are living in Southeast Asia and to help our students with any of the questions that they have about their study options at RMIT. Questions like, entry requirements, fees, what's life like living in Melbourne, and things like that. We also work with our partner institutions and schools in Southeast Asia to help their students with their journey to study overseas at RMIT.
I think this is great, and I think these kind of questions will be today with the ones we're going to be asking students always eager to know more about. And to having you, Sue, together with us today on the show, I think is going to be quite beneficial to the student who are interested in applying to RMIT, because RMIT is so popular in Vietnam, and a lot of students are interested in applying to the university, especially coming to Melbourne, because they love Melbourne, trust me. So it's great, but I would like to know more. I would like to know more about the University of RMIT. Give me some introduction about the university. What are some of the unique points that differentiate RMIT from other universities? Because I know RMIT is quite unique. So could you please share with us?
Yep. No worries. So RMIT University is actually one of the oldest institutions in Australia. So it started off in 1887 as a working men's college, and the aim was to bring education to working men and women that would respond to industry and community needs. So in 1992, we became a public university in Australia, and today RMIT is a global university of tech design and enterprise, and we offer undergraduate programs, postgraduate, and also vocational programs. So through all these years, our tradition of relevant industry-focused learning and teaching still holds true as we continue to create, really life-changing experiences for our students and to prepare them for life and work. So RMIT has 3 campuses in Melbourne, and the main one is located in Melbourne City Centre. So when I said earlier that we are a global university, so we are truly global because we also have campuses in Vietnam, as you would know. So we have a campus in Ho Chi Minh City, and we also have a campus in Hanoi. We also have a research center in Spain, in Barcelona, and we also offer programs through partners in Asia and Europe. So RMIT is actually ranked in the top 1% of the universities worldwide. And when you look at the various disciplines, with, say, what's really popular with our students is, art and design. We are actually ranked number 1 in Australia, number 11 in the world. Architecture, we are ranked number 3 in Australia, number 25 in the world. And looking at, disciplines like, business, engineering, computer science, communications, we are ranked the top 100 or 150 in the world. So we are ranked fairly well in the world. And apart from, all the great rankings, I guess another reason why international students choose to study at RMIT in Melbourne is our location. So I mentioned just now that our main campus is in Melbourne City Centre. So we have a lot of students, especially students from Asia, they love to be in like a vibrant, really lively city, and Melbourne is actually one of that. So Melbourne is one of the most livable cities in the world, and it's actually one of the most student-friendly cities in the world. So our city campus, most of our students will study on the city campus. So, students who are doing business, IT, media, design, they'll all be on the city campus. And because it's right in the middle of Melbourne City Centre, students can access the campus really easily with, all the different kinds of public transport. So you can get to school on trams or trains or buses. And also with us being in the city, our students have, really easy access to all kinds of food. So I think especially for students from Asia, food is really important. Having variety of food is really important. So our students, no matter what they, feel like having, if they want Chinese or Vietnamese or Indian, Japanese, Italian, really anything they can think of, they can find them in the city. So our students spend, because just being in the city, they can really get to anywhere they want. I think that's really one of the reasons why they choose to come to RMIT.
It's not for the food only.
No, of course not just for the food, but imagine being in a city where, imagine being in a city where you can get what you want easily, and you can get the stuff that you can get back in your home country easily in Melbourne. I think that is really what draws students to come here, because I guess for international students, being away from home, they get lonely, they lose their family and friends at home. That's right, and if they can find the similar foods that they can have here, I think they feel less lonely. I think, and there's so much shopping in Melbourne as well. If they're bored, they can, after school they can always go shopping.
That's actually very true. I have the same feeling when I went to university. I studied university in the University of Nottingham, and I felt like I wanted something Swedish, and I always looked for some Swedish restaurants when I went there. And the closest thing that I could find to Swedish restaurants was IKEA.
IKEA, I was going to say IKEA with the meatballs.
So I just went to IKEA to eat some meatballs. And that's home for me, going to IKEA.
But I can reassure our students in Vietnam that there's so many Vietnamese restaurants in Melbourne. From the cheap, for the noodles, all the way to like fine dining Vietnamese food. So our students, that's right. So they can get that easily.
Nice, awesome. I think they're gonna love it. I'm sure everybody gonna be like, I'm going there. I don't really worried about food. Because trust me, it's the closest thing to home, food. It's like what makes you feel home. When you sometimes eat this dish, like you said, you feel nostalgic. It's like, oh my God, I remember eating that.
That's right.
This is perfect.
That's right.
So definitely. But there are, again, great points about living in Melbourne as well. And we will talk about those opportunities a bit later. But there'll be more job opportunities and things to talk about. So this is great, actually, what you summarized for us, Sue. And one more thing I just wanted to add on that, which I think we forgot to talk about, is the teaching methodology. So, is there any work integrated learning that the university uses when in the courses? for example, is it like 3 years undergraduates, first, second year, and then the third year is a work placement, and then the final year, or is it like other kind of like more integrated like learning that happens with the university? Would you like to share with us?
Yeah, sure. So I mentioned just now that I guess our learning and teaching is very industry focused, and also with many of our programs, they are designed in consultation with our industry partners. So many of the assignments that you do or the projects that you work on are actually, work or topics that have been given to us by industry. So you're not just, purely learning from your textbook and, doing the theory and not being able to apply what you have learned to the real world. And also with most of our programs, they either have, embedded in the program, they either have internships, so compulsory work placements, or they have electives for students to choose where they can choose to do a business internship. So, say for example, some of our business programs, so our business programs at RMIT are usually either 3 years or 4 years. So the 3-year program, there's no compulsory work placement component, but students can actually pick up an internship elective as part of their 3-year program. But for the 4-year applied business programs, so the first 2 years they will attend classes, go to school. But in the 3rd year, they will spend 1 year with one of our industry partners. So they work for a year. They get a full employment experience. They learn to work with professional clients. They learn to respond to their feedback. And when they finish that 1 year of work placement, they return to RMIT to finish off the last year of their program. So it really depends on, the students and what they're after. If they wish to, finish their degree as soon as possible and get up to work, then they can pick the 3-year program and still have the opportunity to do work placement. Or if you're not in a massive hurry to graduate, then they can choose the 4-year applied program. Because with the 4-year applied program, when they graduate, on their CV or their resume, they can proudly say that they have done, 1 year of professional work experience, and that will really give them an advantage over, other students when they go out to look for a job.
I see. This is like actually something I wanted to ask about. Is it going to be a difference between the 3 years program and the 4-year program? But I think you just answered it perfectly. So, but it's the options when it comes to like applying to internship. Is it limited only to the partners that work with RMIT, or is it like unlimited? So the student can apply to any company they would like to apply to, or it's like a list of companies that they can choose from?
Sure. So we don't restrict students from looking for their own internship. So we have students who perhaps, they have elected to do a business internship elective. And we provide all the opportunities that we have that are available to our students. And they have to go and apply for those internships with those companies, because it's not just about our students choosing the internship that suits them. It's also about the companies that we work with choosing the best student for themselves. So it's sort of like they have to match, which is why they have to put in an application and also sit for an interview. But we do provide a list of all the companies that we work with who are looking for interns from RMIT. And for some of the students, if from the list of opportunities, they can't find anything that suits them, or they have contact somewhere else, say in Melbourne, they are more than welcome to, work for a different company. And also some of our students, not just, do one internship for the entire program. Sometimes they just go off and do something on their own outside school. As long as you plan your timetable properly, you can actually, squeeze in more placements throughout your degree.
Well, that's great to know. I think that summarizes everything really well for the student, because a lot of them actually considering, for example, doing a like a part-time job as well at the same time, but as long as they can manage their times, their schedule like properly, then they're welcome to do so if they desire that. But it's still recommended that they take more focus on the university life and focusing on actually studying, and I think this is what a lot of universities in Vietnam would like to do. Focusing on studying, the job comes second.
Yep.
This is great, actually. Knowing this in mind, students will now like have an idea. Okay, so there is kind of a something to anticipate for, or something that I'm anticipating to do when I go to RMIT. But now I think the question that I forgot to ask you before I ask you about the work integrated learning is how can the student, or how easy is it to get to RMIT through the NCUK program? So if you have the requirements to RMIT through the NCUK, that would be great if you could share it. But also so how do you think the program actually prepares the student to enter RMIT?
Sure. So for most of our programs, so including our Bachelor of Business, for students who have completed the NCUK IFY, we will require a total of 104 points, IFY total points, which is works out to be, I think, BCC grades, for them to get into the first year of our Bachelor of Business program. And in terms of the English requirements, if they have an overall B and a minimum C for each band, they would meet our English language requirements. So we don't require them to sit for, IELTS or TOEFL that way. So that applies to most of our programs at RMIT. And I guess in terms of how the IFY program can helps to prepare students to come and study at RMIT, so I believe that the IFY program, there's different streams. So for students who are planning to do business at university, obviously they'll be doing the business stream. So it's great because this really helps build adequate foundation in business, because it's great that they are doing business specific courses, because this will help build their knowledge and give them so that they can succeed when they come to university, when they finish their program. And the fact that that the program, the IFI program, has a lot of English preparation, so and we do know that one of the key factors for students to succeed at university is really how well the English is. Because you could have fantastic academic grades, you could be great in accounting, great in economics, but if your English is not good, it will be really hard for you to do very well when you get to university. So it's great that they're getting all the English preparation that they can get while they're studying the IFY.
I agree, definitely. But I think that something that I should share with you, our students in Vietnam are outstanding. Okay, they're like so good in English. They're so surprising. So I'm proud of them already. So I talked to a lot of students. So far, I've met like hundreds of students. I spoke to them personally over the Zoom, and even when I was in Vietnam last year, and we had a talk, and I was surprised, like my level when I was their age in English, I was like I'm kind of shy, okay, but I was actually quite shy, and I felt like my English wasn't that good. But even though they're shy, some of the students that I met, they were quite outstanding. They understand everything. They speak fluent, with confidence as well. So IFY is actually going to boost their English level even further. So when they're studying NCUK IFY, studying EAP program, because EAP stands for English for Academic Purposes. So that's like a preparation program for academia. So it's going to be giving you skills. So academic skills, English skills, cultural skills, and also transferable skills as well. So that's EAP as a whole. So but just to summarize one point that Sue mentioned here, and I think you need to pay attention to it as a student, is that the requirement for NCUK to RMIT was for the subject streams, because remember at UEH you'll be studying business stream, and you will have 3 business subjects. So for those subjects, you will need at least 1 B and 2 C's in those subjects. Okay, so one subject is B, one is C, and the other one is C. And the EAP, the total grade for the EAP is a total of a B. But in each of the skills, so you have listening, reading, writing, and speaking, you need to at least have a C. Okay, and combined together, all of those points will give you a total point of IFY, and the IFY point you need is 104. Okay, so this is something you need to keep in mind, and we will also put this down in the video as well, so you can see it. But don't worry about it. This information, we have it with us, so you can always ask us at UEH to find out more about this information. But Sue shared with me some valuable information. Thank you very much for that. And let me ask you a few more questions. I think two will be good. I don't want to take a lot of questions. So talking about because you mentioned the Faculty of Business, and I think this is the subject of interest right now at the University of Economics in Ho Chi Minh, where we're teaching the NCUK IFY. So if we're talking about, because the students are studying business streams, so their interest is in the Faculty of Business at RMIT. So what do you think is the differences between studying business in RMIT versus studying business in another university? Okay.
Yeah, so I think as I mentioned at RMIT, really regardless of what you study at RMIT, our focus is on ensuring that, our courses are industry-led and also future-focused, and that's the same focus that our business school or our College of Business has. So many of our courses or programs are designed, as I mentioned, in consultation with our industry partners, so companies that we work with, to ensure that, our graduates will be able to hit the ground running when they leave university, so they can just have skills and knowledge that they can just go to work and then start making a difference. And just to share something interesting, so in one of the surveys that we did with our students a couple of years ago, about 70% of our students indicated that they would like to set up their own business when they finish university. So gone were the days, I'm pretty old, but gone were the days where students finish university and they want to just find a job and work that for the rest of their life. I think that has changed quite a bit, and with our students now, many of them, as I mentioned, about 70% of our students came back and said, yep, they want to set up their own business, they want to be their own bosses. And many of our students actually explore that while they are studying at RMIT. So really help our students to own their future by including electives in our business programs, which are designed to build their skills for self-employment. Since 2015, we have allocated probably more than $1.5 million to help student startups, and so that they get a head start. At RMIT, we have something called RMIT Activator, which is a center and a service that helps our students to, commercialize their ideas. So our business students, together with students from other disciplines. So we tend to see, a couple of our business students and with their friends over in, say, computer science and in engineering or in design, getting together and say, hey, we've got this fantastic idea. Let's be our own bosses when we finish university. But they don't really know where to start, and this is where RMIT Activator can come in good use. We have our staff there who have a lot of experience with startup and helping startups to help our students build their own business even while they're at university. So this is something that I think is quite rare, where you probably don't find too many universities who really try to help our own students, start their own businesses, be entrepreneurs.
Definitely agree. So is it like an incubator as well, this RMIT activator? So
Yes, sort of. Yes, that's right.
okay, good. I think, like you said, because a lot of students actually that I talk to say, I don't know how you knew about this, but it's true. They do actually consider starting their own businesses, and it's like it's becoming a trend nowadays. Students asking this question on a lot of the webinars that I do. It's like, I want to do my own business in Australia. Can I do that?
That's right.
Now you know. RMIT can help you to do that.
Because you can.
Yeah.
That's right, because you can study entrepreneurship as part of your business program. So,
Is
and
it
that's
compulsory
actually
or it's an elective program?
You can do it as an elective, and you can also do it as a degree as well.
All right. That'll be really good.
So for the future, Microsoft or Apple, you can start your you can start your journey here at RMIT.
I promise you, especially because RMIT have such a global network of connections and also campuses in multiple areas, and also a research center, like you said, in Europe. That's already perfect for students who want to get connected like globally, and if they have some kind of an idea of a business, like a business idea that's more focused on the globe rather than just Australia or Vietnam, that's a perfect place for them to start as well in RMIT. Perfect.
That's right. And you mentioned, because I think at the start I mentioned that we have campuses in Vietnam, and a great way that students can get, different experiences is we do offer students an opportunity to start their degree in Vietnam at RMIT Vietnam. So say, they wish to study business and they want to spend, say, the first year in Vietnam and then transfer to RMIT Melbourne for the second year, or different combinations. We do offer that to our students. So it really depends on, I guess, the students' situation. Some of them think, I don't want to leave home. I don't want to leave my family so soon. Let me hang on for another year. They can study at RMIT Vietnam for 1 year. It's the same qualification, same experience. And then, when they finish, 1 year, 1.5 years, they can transfer to RMIT Melbourne to continue their business degree. Right. So they don't waste any time, but yet, they know they can experience studying in both Vietnam and Melbourne.
So this is actually something I really wanted to ask you about, but I think you just answered it perfectly. So they can study NCUK Foundation Program, and then they apply through the NCUK to RMIT Vietnam and study 1 year, and then they continue the rest of the program in Melbourne. And this is perfect. Or they can do it directly to Melbourne, so it's up to them. They can choose where to go. And this is fantastic, actually, because that's like me. I didn't want to leave home. I was like, I want to stay here. So that kind of style is perfect for me. I would love to do that. Amazing. So I think now I would like to, before we finish, ask you one hypothetical question. Okay, so it's more of a kind of like a lot of students ask me this, and it's like, so I'm just going to quote a student here. So if I finish, or if I want to study different kind of so I studied business, so NCUK foundation program, and then I went to study business at RMIT. But can I study like multiple different, different knowledges in some sense, like say focusing on investment and accounting at the same time, or you have to focus only on one aspect of business, or can you combine different, because I know you said you do have electives, and for example, entrepreneurship was one kind of the electives that the student can choose. But some students always think about, okay, sometimes like I do really want to work in the investment field, but like I also want to study some accounting and some business management. So how does that like work if a student would like to combine multiple knowledges from within the business world? Like, is it possible at RMIT? Can students do that?
Yeah, definitely. So in many of our business programs, say for example, you want to do maybe say international business, or you want to do accountancy. So that is on I guess the degree or the title. It says Bachelor of Business, bracket accountancy, or bracket international finance, or bracket international business. But that is just your specialization. We do offer students the freedom to pick up a second major. So like you said, with a lot of our students, they have interest in a few different areas, and they don't really want to sort of limit themselves to just one aspect of business. So by doing, say, an accountancy degree, they have the freedom to pick up a second major, say in international business, or say in logistics and supply chain management. So they can definitely do that, or they also have the freedom to say, instead of picking up a second major, they can pick up 2 minors, just learn 4 courses in each of the business specialization. Or if they think, oh no, I don't really want to do any more minors or any more majors, I just want to do lots of different electives, pick and choose, learn a bit about everything, they have the flexibility to do so. So yeah, definitely.
Great. That's fantastic. I think this answers the question perfectly. Don't worry about it. You have multiple electives. Okay, you can choose a lot. How many electives, like in general, the student is allowed to choose? If I may ask that question. So they have compulsory.
It depends. Yeah.
So they do have compulsory
That's
modules,
right.
and then they have the electives. So is it like 2 or 3 compulsory modules, and the rest is electives,
That's right.
or?
It'll be more than that. So with the business degrees, across the board, they will have to do that sort of like common sort of foundation courses. The foundation is not as in like International Foundation Year. It's more like the foundation to build your knowledge to go into the more advanced courses. So there'll be courses, we call them core courses, compulsory common first year courses that they have to do. When they finish those courses, then they'll go on to do their specialization or their major courses. So those will be compulsory as well. So say if you're doing accountancy, then there are set courses that you have to do in order to get your accountancy specialization. And then the rest of it would be electives, or you can, so if I'm not wrong, there might be like 6 or 8 courses that you can choose to either make them into minors or choose to just use them all as electives. So when you enroll with RMIT, we have study plans ready for you, and it's really straightforward. And we have our course advisors to help you plan your studies to make sure that you can achieve what you set out to do. So don't be too worried. We'll plan out your study plan for you once you enroll at RMIT.
Definitely. I think this is going to make them feel very, very comfortable. Perfect. No worries. Okay. We got you. I'm just looking at my coffee because I'm like, I really want to have another sip of coffee. Such an incredible information that you're giving me. I'm just focused. Like I'm trying to, like, it's just incredible. Like what you're sharing with me, Sue, like I learned so much today with you that I think I would never have learned if I did my own research and try to search the internet. So it's very valuable to watch.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, definitely. No, I learned a lot from you. Thank you very much. And I think I don't want to really keep taking a lot of your time. I know you're very busy and it's getting a bit late for you in Australia right now. So I'd like to soon end the webinar, but I would like to ask you one final question before we end the webinar. And I think this is going to be more a personal advice from you to the student. And basically, so what advice do you have to the NCUK IFY students, like before they apply or they enter university life? So what do you want to say to them?
Yep. Yeah, sure. Probably 2 points. The first point would be to do lots of research. because often, I guess with students, you see, all the different universities offering what you think would be very similar degrees. So, I think almost every university or comprehensive university offer a business program. So it's sometimes quite hard to work out, which program at which university suits you most. And in order for you to make an informed decision, you really have to do your research. And a great way to figure that out, or even, not just university, even just specializations. Sometimes students think, oh, should I do accountancy or should I do international business? You really have to do your research. And a great way to do that is to jump onto RMIT's website or just jump onto Google, type in RMIT, and you can type in, say accountancy. I'm pretty sure the first search result that comes up would be, Bachelor of Business. And you can click on it and then have a look at the study plan, because in every of our business, our program website, we have the study plan for the degree. So you can see and read out and, make sure that, those courses are the ones are interested in studying. And this will really help inform your decision better. So that's the first one. My second advice would be, once you come to university, when you come to RMIT, be open-minded. And also, don't be shy. So my experience with a lot of international students is, oh, I'm too shy, I have an issue or I have a problem, or I don't really understand, the last topic in my lecture. Some students are so shy, and they don't realize that there's actually a lot of support and a lot of services available to our international students. So, and they're free to our international students. So whether they need help with English or writing, or say they need help with statistics, there are drop-in centers on campus, and there's peer mentors, a peer mentoring program that they can sign on to get help from their seniors or from our teachers. So my advice would be, don't be shy. You've gone all the way from Vietnam to Melbourne. It's a long way, a lot of time and, money invested in your education. So use, all the services that we provide to our students.
Definitely. Especially the second one I agree with, because I had that issue when I went to university. So actually hearing that and knowing there's a lot of support to you as a student is really great and comforting. I think the student needs to know this, that don't be afraid to speak out, don't be afraid to ask for help, don't be afraid to seek the services that the university provides you with, because there are plenty at RMIT. And do your research. So do your research before you apply to university. Make sure that you know where you want to go, what kind of program you want to study, and also you have an idea about the program, the study plan. And don't be shy. What a great way to end this webinar. Wow. Thank you very much, Sue. You've been incredible. You've been so informative, and you've been so amazing to talk to. So I'm really actually happy to have had you today on Coffee Chat with Adam. I hope you finished your coffee, or I almost finished mine. So
almost.
Incredible. Swedish coffee never gets old. It's the same coffee everywhere. Wait, in Australia, something I learned about
IKEA coffee, you mean? I'm not sure what IKEA coffee, to be honest. I think you find much better coffee in Melbourne. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to. I will definitely want to come to Melbourne to try the coffee. I think there's also a lot of Vietnamese coffee in Melbourne as well, right?
That's right.
Gotta come try it out.
You can get them easily.
Oh yes. Love it. Okay.
Yeah, not as cheap as what you can find in Vietnam, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to take any more of your time. Thank you so very much for being here today. You've been incredible again, and I do appreciate your time. I do appreciate all the information that you shared with us today, and I'm sure our students are super grateful to you and super happy to have had you today on the show. And we do hope to have more students actually approaching you soon, because they watched the show with us. They were like, I want to go talk to Sue. She's incredible. She's fun. So hopefully our students will be finishing the program by the end of next year. So we'll be coming to RMIT and they'll be really happy to be there. And the information you gave us today was incredible. So thank you very much again. And we'll hope to see you soon.
Thank you for having me, Adam. Yeah.
Thank you too. Thank you too. And we will definitely have more episodes in the future, maybe next year, to talk about other programs, definitely. But this is not the last time you'll see Sue on the show. So look for more episodes in the future. So thank you very much, Sue. Do have a great evening.
Thank you.
Have a great evening. It's almost evening.
Evening? Yes. Yep.
All right.
Have a good morning.
Let me do this final
Thank
touch,
you.
and I will say, see you on the next episode. All right. So let me